So, good morning everyone. Welcome to our 12th session. Our comeback speaker, Mr. Seraj Ghazal, the General Manager of Digital Print Center. And today, he will talk to us about how to sell anything to anybody at any time.
The contents of this session today is first how to sell, types of demands for selling, product selling strategy, sales skills, sales techniques, sales added value, and selling examples. Now, how to sell? We cannot sell the same product or the same service to everybody. Every person has his own approach. As a salespeople, you need to know how to approach these clients. We need to understand that they just buy from us because of their emotion experience, not because of the logic. They justify it afterwards with logic. The same as anyone, any person on earth. Whenever you buy something, you buy it either because you love it, you like it, or you thought about it through someone, or you're jealous about someone else who has it. You want to buy the same. So it's all related to emotion. And here, when I'm talking about how to sell, I'm not talking about a general selling techniques. I'm not talking about usual salesperson or usual selling techniques. That's why we're talking about emotional part. There is a logic part. There is another, if you remember in my first session, in the marketing and sales session, we were discussing also about different types of selling techniques, which is the standard one. Today we're talking unusual ones or directed one. Now, big experiment. Think of something that you want to buy every day or thought about it. You buy a car, you bought a dream house, or anything else. Always try to picture it. Once you have that in your mind, try to ask these questions. I will tell you why I'm asking this first. Why do you want to buy this product or service? Why do you want to buy this particular item? And do you really want to own it? There's different, because buying something and owning it is different. You buy something like a phone and just throw it in the after a few days. But owning something is like it's yours. It's part of your lifestyle. It's part of your um, daily life. We'll call it like that. Whatever the answers that you'll find, they are often are emotional reasons. So you buy it because of emotions again, and justify it with logic, with the features of the service or product. That's the logic part. You buy because you like iPhone, but then you go to the features. When you see the new iPhone, you hear about, for example, I'm just giving an example of iPhone or any other product, and you know it's coming, new release. You make research before even it comes. You try to find the concept of it because you love that. You're loyal to that brand. Now, when you're selling, you do the same, what you do in your daily life, but you do it reverse. You check your service, you check your product, how you can approach it emotionally to your clients, how you force him to feel that service and product. You need to put a plan and strategy how to transfer his needs or your product's selling need to that client and make sure he feel it emotionally when you sell it to him. You're just not talking about features. You just didn't take this phone and tell him, listen, this phone has 126 GB and you know the RAMs are like this and has 2 cameras, and so what if he's not interested? No, that's the usual selling techniques. The unusual selling techniques, you need to show him what is this phone will do for him, what this phone will change in his life, what this phone will make it better for him, innovated, plus, plus, plus. You need to make him feel it. You meet him, for example, you're having a normal phone. He will tell you, yeah, I just answer calls. I don't need all the features, you know, so I'm holding a normal phone. You tell him, but how you will feel when you have a plus X phone and put it on the table when you're going out, it's part of show off. That's emotional. Even show off, it's emotional. People don't buy product and service, they buy stories. Whenever you have, because of the whatever's happening in the market and the competition and a lot of competitors in different segments, there is no segment that has no competitors. So especially on the social media, on the internet, and on now you can buy everything. Especially now with the pandemic, we practice it that we can buy anything online, almost anything online. You can make research online and buy whatever you want. Put on the search engine and find whatever you want. But how to sell a similar product that it's in the market? Again, by creating a story. Creating story for this product. When you speak to your client, let him leave this story. Not just, okay, this is the product and that's it, or this is the story of how we made the product. No, no. He wants to leave a story. He needs to close his eyes when you're talking. And I'm sure it happens with many of us before when someone's talking and you just close your eyes and imagine what he's talking about. Someone told you, I went to Venice, for example. You already imagine Venice in your imaginary, even if you've never been there. So that's a very important part. That you kill and you grab the attention of the consumer immediately. Inject stories in everything you do. Create a story, even if there is no story. It's part of the techniques to create a story. To Salim, what he was saying before, that we put his session before in the online, how we make techniques on the client. That's true. It's a techniques. We create things. It might not be true. Just the most important, not to false the client of a bad service or bad goods or bad products. We just try to sell in it. We're not promising him something is not happening. No, it happens. It will change. It will change him. This story, it just maybe didn't happen with us before. Or it might be, for example, having successful story with other customers. Sometimes one customer can be a big added value to go to a market. Just one customer. It's a big name. You get this client and you go directly and you hit the market with this client name, not the product. You say, I sell this to this client, and that's it. People got the trust, especially the new consumers, how they will believe on you. Because facts tell and story is selling. Stories sell. When you say someone a story, he will believe it. He will go emotional. Facts, he can read it even in a newspaper. Now, there's different types of demands for selling product or service. First of one is existing demand. The second one is how to create a demand for your service and product. Now, existing demand is when you have a product or service, such for example, you're drinking coffee in the morning. That's your needs. That's your demand. Every morning you come, I cannot start my day without, a coffee, without a certain breakfast, a delicious breakfast. To sell this demand, it's very easy. It's just with the product and service. You just need to define which one is better. Do you like Starbucks coffee? Do you like Costa coffee? It's just by adding more value. Here you go back to the features, but the first thing is by default. It's a default demand. It's not something that you need to really work hard on it. You just to know what is it. And then you push for it. For example, if I ask you, if I'm talking to you and you have a pen, I told you, give me this pen, I need to sign something. And you give me that pen to sign. I told you, please sign your copy. You will tell me, I don't have a pen. You took my pen. Okay, take your pen. That's a need. That's a demand. That's an existing demand. If I purchased that pen from you a second ago, I would resell it to you because you need to sign that document. It's a very important document. So that's an existing demand. Now, to create a demand for a product, this is a completely different approach. Let me just 1 second, guys, because the cameras are obstructing it's in the middle of my presentation. So again, creating a demand is different from existing demand. When you're selling a marketing plan, or for example, when to Dinch, he knows what I'm talking about, and most of the team here knows about it. For example, Dallah made some study and research and came up with an innovative idea how to replace fans in stadium with the printed fans. It's an idea happening already in Europe and Turkey. And it's a great idea, it's an innovative idea. It's a created demand for what's happening now for the pandemic. This is a great example. You create a demand to go and sell it to your client because of what's happening. It's a new demand. It's something different. It's something new to the market, but you need to create it. So you need to create the desire to the clients. Why you want to do this? Imagine the stadium is empty or it's full of people when you shoot the cameras. Of course, it's different. the concept, the idea. You need to make illustrations, you need to make videos, you need to show him examples. You need, again, stories. Stories by making interview with people who participate in this, with previous consumers out of the country or in the country, competitors' stories. They will all explain their feedback. And that's how you can sell a concept. Most important is you. Always in this presentation, the most important, whatever I'm saying, is the person, is you. You need to be the one who's capable to sell yourself. Because whatever the concept is good, the idea is good, it's a created demand, even if it's existing demand, and you're not a good, talented person to sell, you won't be able to sell anything. Now, the selling strategy for any product, there's so many key questions for any selling strategy. Who will the product serve? Why I'm asking these questions, or why we need to ask these questions? Because you need to answer these questions before you go to any clients. You need to have the answer, because you need to define who's your client. You need to define how this product will serve this client, how to convince him, how to create the story behind it. If you don't know your product or your service properly, to which segment it will fall, you're losing your time. Yet, it might work. For example, again, in my cover page in this presentation, selling ice to an Eskimo people, they might not buy it. You will say, why am I wasting my time to sell an ice to Eskimo people? I can sell them heaters. Why do I need to sell them ice? That's true. That's not wasting your time. But a great salesperson, he can sell still an ice to an Eskimo people. And we'll give an example later on how it will be. And how it will be, it's actually by differentiating yourself from others. Seeing him in an ice in a place where it's full of ice. Why? What's different in your eyes? There's pillars for this strategy. You need to stand apart by offering a solution, not just a product. So whatever the questions we ask ourselves before, we need to transfer that questions when we talk to client through a story by filling these pillars. Make sure that it's a solution. We're giving you this product because it's a solution, not because of its features. It will solve your problem. You have a problem, so you research the client before. You know what he needs. You know that your product, by default, it's helpful for this person. By default, you know, okay, I'm gonna sell a new company laptops. That's for sure they need the laptops. Just an example, anything. You need to sell someone something he needs to solve a problem for him. You need to sell ERP system for a company who has problems with their system. They don't have a system, for example, like Focus or anything else. Even if they have, you need to study what they have and make sure that your system, even if it's similar, with the small features, without highlighting the features, only afterwards, telling him our ERP is better than yours because we can give solution for this problem that the other system doesn't have. That's why studying the other system. And this, why we're still getting offers from people, even if we have, like you have a car, people still coming to sell you a car. You have an ERP system in the company, still we're receiving people to come and selling us an ERP system. They don't stop because they try to find the weak things in the others as a competitors and try to fill it. And show us, and we need to show the client that this is something, you know, it's adaptable, that your industry is changing. You need to move forward. You need to have a growth. This product or service is changing. For example, digital, okay? We don't stay in the same machines. No, we need to be more moving forward to give clients. I still can print, for example, for my clients, the same paper from before until now. What is the difference? What I'm giving the client different is now I can print on a thicker paper, I can print white, I can print this, I can print that. So that's, even if I have a contract with this client, but I'm still updating him that I'm giving you more features, more advantage. It's innovative. It's the growth for me and the client. That's very important, not just I'm selling something and static. That's easy. That's the goes with the general selling techniques. Now, the sales skills. This is very, very important. And I want to ask a question here. Who you guys think is the salesperson? Who can be defined as a salesperson? And I need to hear some answers. What
When
do you
you
think?
have knowledge about the product, you can sell it.
Mhm.
I think if you're a person who knows how to like build rapport easily, like you can be a salesperson. Like you can
Mhm.
sell anything if you have if you know how to quickly establish rapport with clients.
Good social skills. Because you
Mm.
said you need to sell yourself, right?
Mhm. 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 So handsome or pretty?
No, it's more about the chemistry.
It's same. It's all falls in it. It's all falls in it. Actually, we are all salespersons. Everybody is a selling person. Everybody can be a salesperson. Don't look to the photo. Everybody can be a salesperson. Why? You sell yourself during your job interview. Who among us, when he had a job interview, he didn't try to sell himself?
Mm.
Everybody, right? Everybody try to sell yourself by making sure that you look good, likable, before you go to your work or you have important meeting. You want to close the deal. I want to wear, and it happens for me personally. I know this client like, for example, this color. I wear that color when I go. It's part of the techniques. They feel more comfortable when they talk to you when you look nice. When you go out with your friends, even, and you make sure that you're looking good. That's part of sales techniques. So you'll be heard. Everybody is a selling person. There is no one. There's differentiation about the study of sales. That's true. The degrees of who's a good salesperson or a great salesperson. But who can be a salesperson? Everybody has skills, sales skills. Yet, you need to sell yourself when you're selling a product. You start, the client likes you. How many times we heard, I like you, I'm gonna go with you. A few weeks back, we had a meeting in the office when one client, actually I didn't know our client. We were meeting him for something else, and then he said, I give him my business card. We're in the same office, and he said to me one word. Your digital guys nearby, here close by, like in the next door. Yes. He said, you're the most expensive people in the market. And I was here like a few days back. I told him, so you were here a few days back. He said, yes. Then why you're coming to us if you are still the most expensive people? He said, I like working with people and you guys have a good service. So when he like us, he comes to work with us, no matter what. That's the challenge, that if your price is different, maybe he will not, maybe your quality, see, before we were saying in digital or any other company, maybe that we have this machine, yet we have a specific machine in digital, but as a printing of and branding, everyone can buy machines. Anyone can buy the same machine. There is no difference in the machine. You cannot be using machine or the features of the machine to say, I can grab a client attention. No, you can grab it by the service you give. The minute we say we work 24 hours on a call, whenever you want us, you call us, we will make sure that it's coming to you. That's the service. We are among a few, or maybe only or a few companies who has 5, 6 drivers to deliver to their clients. That's part of our services. That's something no one has. I got a call during the pandemic. Someone wanted a stamp. And he said, you guys deliver it? I said, we'll deliver it. Don't worry. We understand the situation. We'll send you even a POS machine. You can pay by card in your home. He was, guys, you're the best. He's the first time deal with me for a stamp. So that's how you need to make them feel comfortable. Forget the products, just a stamp for me. But we didn't even talk about the stamp. We talk about he likes the idea, he likes me, so he want to buy. He didn't ask me even the price by that moment. Yet the features is important, but in the next stage. First, grab, let him like, story, convince, then go behind it. The features goes in the negotiation. It goes in later stage. I will show you when we can talk about the product itself, like features. So there is certain skills any salesperson should have it. The first, empathy, emotional intelligence. Again, emotional, he need to take what is the needs of the product, how can he make it emotional to the clients. He need to be active listener, because he need to listen to the clients, or listen even to himself sometimes. Make a study, make research, and listen to it. He should be a very good, effective communicator. He need to communicate in the right way by putting in plan a strategy with his client. And for me, number 5 is the most important, is confidence. The minute you go to your client and he asks you a question, oh, sorry, I'll get back to you, you ruin it. He has no belief in you. If you're a GM, if you're a sales executive, if you're whoever, a friend, still he will not believe in you. Again, selling yourself is the most important. He believed in you, then he will tell you, what's the product you have? Tell me more about it. Flexibility. This is something we face every day. We need to be flexible. We cannot be firm. Firm yet is good and is important in certain cases, but you need to show him that, guys, again, 24 hours and 7, this is our service. This is flexibility. Most of the printing press in the market, they work from 9 to 6 and close, or 7 to 5 and close. We don't receive calls. Even suppliers sometimes we deal with, they don't answer their phone. They finish, the work time is finished. We don't do that. Flexibility is very, very important. Now, sales techniques. This is the most important from my opinion. Again, the sales techniques. First, the projection, to project what's the study that you made and try to transfer that to the client by stories, by imaginary. Then you can build the trust with the client and define his needs by that story. When he trusts you, tell him, this is good for you. This is will make it happen to you. This is will change your life. This is will make it better. This will make it safer. You know, whatever is that product. Now, the presentation is something very important and can be in different kinds. Again, we'll go through it later. Presentation can be 1 page, can be 50 pages. And it will be read it. Sometimes you say, who will read a 50-page product? There's people who read it, who's interested in it. Who was interested in the first caption of that presentation. Now, answer to the obligation or the objections of these clients, because we heard a lot of objections from clients. We hear a lot of objections. Price, this and that and those, but still, you need to answer this objection. You need to be prepared. Study again and research the clients, knowing the competitors, knowing the product, what will change. You can easily answer. Not he will put you in the corner and ask you why I will buy from you, and you have to answer for it. Clothing the sale. That's the most important. You close the deal. Finish. Again, there is a follow-up. Follow-up is very important because you make sure to maintain the client. Why? Another competitor used the same techniques. He come to him saying, listen, what you bought is good. After 1 year, for example, what we have better. That's why we say innovated, growth, and updated. We need to sell something that we can always update it. Tell the clients that we're updating ourselves, changing ourselves. That can happen only by the follow-up. Who doesn't see the Wolf of Wall Street movie? When he asked them, sell me this pen. It's very, very nice short video. And it happens in many different ways. Someone, he sat in a table and asked him, sell me this pen. It's just an example about selling techniques. Someone started to talk about the features. Oh, this pen has this, you know, it's a blue color. It's easy, it's smooth in the hand, and it's very nice pen. Okay, that's one side. Now, what is the better side? That's the features. Now let's talk about emotions and story. Other person asked him, imagine you're closing a sales deal. How often you close sales deal? He said, or sign contract. And he said, like every time now and then I sign a contract. Okay, when is the last time? He said, like 2 days ago I signed a contract, or today morning. I don't remember exactly what he said in the movie, but that's the idea. He said, okay, you signed a big deal? He said, yes, a big deal, big contract I signed a few days ago. So what pen you used? I don't know, it's just a pen on my desk, really. So, and you signed it with your client in the same time? He said, yes, we use that pen. I said, okay. What do you think the client thought about you? You are a head of a company who's signing a contract of $1 million, for example, okay? And you pull any pen, which you don't even remember, and you sign on it in that particular, memorable moment. And then you give the same pen to your client and he look at it and he signed. Okay, he will not tell you what the hell is this pen. But he signed and he's saying to himself, I just paid you $1 million. I'm going to pay $1 million, and you're using such a bullshit pen. You know what company you are. What is the trust on you? You're a company, you're using anything. What is the quality? While you pull out from your pocket a handicraft made pen with your name on it and something like that, and very special. You put it like silk in your hand and you sign it smoothly, and you're proud to give it to your clients. And you will be happy to give it to them just to sign it. You might even tell them, keep it, and they will take it. They will not take the other pen. Which one is different? That's the difference in the technique. emotional stories, imagining. And it's the same pen at the end of the day. But each person, based on his knowledge, he used different techniques. The word, I always use this personally, always use imagine word. Let the client picture when you are talking. When you use this word, by default, they will even they're looking at you, they're imagining with you. If I tell you now, imagine you're walking in a wood when you have the streets and nice flower pots and area is here and there, you're already imagining. Rather than, listen, I can sell flower pots, That's a big difference about it. Imagining them in the wood with a nice flower in it, next to the lake, while I say, listen, I can sell flower pots, for example. It's completely different. Use the imagine and picturize while you are talking always. Make them, now this is very important. Make sure that you get their attention in the first 8 seconds. Scientifically, it's been approved. Not talking about memory, I'm talking about attention. If you don't grab the attention of a new consumer within the first 8 seconds, either by the subject, either by question, you lost their attention, you're not going to sell the product. You're wasting, if you have 1 minute, the same goes, and I believe the creative team knows this, the same goes for advertising. Most of the advertisers think about how to start advertising, because if they have 1 minute advertising and they lost the attention of the consumer in the first 8 seconds, the rest of 52 seconds is gone. It's nothing on it. You'll not get anything from it. Now, the challenges that the client mindset, this is many challenges. That's what I said. I will come to it later. What challenges as salespeople you might face? Why should I buy from you? That's a question we hear. This I highlighted a few of the challenges that usually we get and we hear a lot. Is the most common ones. Like, why should I buy from you? Where I can find the same one. It's cheaper. The second one, okay, I don't need this right now. I have similar product or similar service and it works for me. How would I know that I can trust you and your company? No. To have this is something we face mostly, like every day or every now and then, depends on the workload, especially if you're approaching a new client or existing client with a new service or product. How we can overcome this? You overcome this first, you don't fall down, and okay, the client, I send him, he told me he can get it cheaper, and I just turn my back and leave. No, that's not the way. We need here, first of all, as a self-person, I should be driven by something. I should be driven by passion. I should be driven, why I need to be a salesperson, why I want to sell this product. What is the reason? And let's talk honestly. I want to sell this product because I want to keep my job, for example. Some people want to earn more money. Some people, they're afraid to be poor again. There is something, someone, I want to feed my family, I have a family. It's not like you're selling this product because, I just want to sell it. No, that's wrong. That's everyone selling. But you need to have a passion to not let you down. Once you have that passion, you will not turn your back to this client who answer you this. You go back to them or you answer them. This is what I said in client's objection earlier, which you need to answer it immediately. You know the client is using something else right now and he's okay with it. Why you convince him? He use Focus. Why convince him about another ERP system? What is the weak thing in Focus? You use that tool. Tell him we solve your problem. Again, back what I said earlier. You know that you have the similar product in the market, but it's cheaper. Why you are expensive? You give better service, like what happened with DBC. Use this. You answer the client. Don't go out from the meeting or close the phone just because he rejected you. Trusting the company is by trusting you. You need to sell yourself. Once you sell yourself, you'll trust you, trust your company. We hear this a lot on the daily basis. Guy, I know you. I don't know your company. I'm working with you. I don't care where you do it, how you do it. I trust you, said you'll deliver it to me. If it's a service, product, if it's design, if it's anything, it's an item, everything. So that's the most common obligations or objections from the clients, and it's in his mindset most of the time. That's the difference. We should not let it down. Now, some added value in a salesperson. You know, most of the directors of the movies, they think months before they start what is the first scene in the movie will be, because that scene is the one will grab our attentions. Most of us sit on the night in Netflix or in, like on the channels of TV and try to find a proper movie to watch that we've never seen. You check a movie and the first scene is something, random, repeated. You just change the channel. And that's why in some movies, they put the end first, flashback, you put the end first, then you go back like 38 hours before or 2 weeks before to see the movie. You're interested, they grab your attention. There is shooting, there is a nice end story. So you want to know what happened. It's very important. That's grabbing the consumer attention. That can be in everything we do on daily life. Dental clinics and booklets. There's a story called that, someone went to the dental clinic and he gave them a booklet out of 50 pages. All right. And these 50 pages, the secretary didn't let him go to meet the surgeon to present his product and service. He just kept it there and left. After a few days, he received a call with a big amount of order. I was shocked, like I didn't even meet them. The surgeon called him, placed the order, and he met him and negotiated the offers and the features. And he thought that people doesn't read. No, people read who's really interested. If you're selling a product to the right consumer, he's interested to it. He needs to read what is in it for me, because at the end, he's a business owner. He wants to make himself better. Don't think like who will read this. No, there is people, but don't waste your time with the clients who's not interested. Was a client who's, a hand client. We discussed before, heart clients, hand clients, and brain client. Brain is logic, heart is emotional, hands are, the sideline of they don't know what to do. Don't waste your time with someone who's doesn't like your product. You can offer always, there's something you need to give to take. This is like karma, what goes around comes around. I learned this in BNI, and Nadia knows about it. So when you give people, when you treat someone, when you sit with your friends or someone you just met first time, and you said, I paid the bill today, he will tell you immediately, next time on me. And he will make sure that next time he will do it, Even if he's a client, if you meet him in a coffee and you said, okay, listen, like while you're doing an installation for him, and he will make sure that he will offer you coffee back. So you gain his trust. You meet him again, by just offering a coffee. So you need to give. That's why you see some sites give you free books, free trials, and it happens with all of us. You go free trial and then you buy. That's why Uridu called us recently. Listen, there is a new offer. You try it for 3 months for free, and then we will charge you for free Netflix. And you will buy it after if you like it. So that's, if it doesn't make 100% sales for them, it will make 50% out of nowhere. This is additional from the daily sales they have. Now, someone said, if you're going to car inspection, just to change the oil, and the car shop guy owner told you, listen, let me give you a free inspection for your car, just free of charge. And he found out something that you need to pay for it, like 2,000 riyal. You will do it with him. There is a possibility that you will go and do it with someone else but still, you will prefer, majority of people statistically will do it with the same person because he did it for free. It's not fair to go and give it to somebody else to do it for you. So what he lost, he made an inspection and he took your money. He made it for free, but he took it from somewhere else. So you need in some areas to give. That's why, for example, we give discounts or we give free features, which that's when I will go to the live example and I will show you how we cover all of this. Or whatever what I say, it should be covered there, even the free stuff. Now, the example. Who doesn't know Wiqaya Gate for now? Most of the people in the group heard about Wiqaya Gate. And this is the features of Wiqaya Gate. Take a minute to read it. I'm asking you a question after this. So for whom doesn't know what is Wiqaya Gate, or who never heard about Wiqaya Gate, it's a new product by Dallah Holding. We're trying to sell to our clients. by an existing new demand, which is the sanitizing gates. So we're trying to find a solution for our clients, for the consumers in the market by specific product, okay, an existing demand, and it has special features, okay, and to have some cash income back to the group in this time. So we have a need, and the client has a need. We put them together. We came up with an idea, and we try to sell this idea now, and we sold it. So we're in the process, but we already start selling. I will cover what I said moving forward in the next, it's only 2 slides left, but I will cover, you will see what I said in reality. Now, this is ﷺ Gate, the same one. I need the person who's not a sales to sell it for me or sell it to us now. After reading, what is it, ﷺ Gate? What is this, the features of it? Anyone can volunteer. Okay, that's why we need to study the product. So we see how that it's good for him, for any clients. Now, when I said, I will answer this now. When I said name any client, because this product actually for any client. It can be in a nursery, it can be in a school, it can be in a grocery shop, it can be in a hypermarket, it can be in malls, it can be in institutions, in hotels, everywhere. Offices, it can be everywhere. When you sell it, why the reason I move the features in this slide? It's right not to talk about the features. The features, you talk about it in the later on stage. The first you tell him, you speak to a client, for example, a restaurant, okay? Let's say we are selling this to a restaurant. You call the GM if you know him, or you through someone, you got his contact. How are you, sir? All good. Are you back? You on the first of the month, you're back with 50%. Yes. You open. Yes. All is good. So most of the people are afraid from going restaurants. Hopefully you solve this issue by, making social distancing and all of this. You took all the proper precautions. Just open a conversation without talking to the product. Because once you talk about it, you have 8 seconds. Then what do you tell him? He tell you, yes, we do this, we do that. You try to market his restaurant, right? Yes, we did this. We have spaces in the tables. We put dividers. We make sure everything is covered and neat. Because, for example, for a restaurant, they want to make sure that people comes with a trust. You need to trust that person inside who's cooking for you, right? So yes, that's true. But tell him, what about you guys? What about you and your staff? Are you safe? You grab the attention. He'll tell you, what do you mean? He said, are you safe from the consumers, from the people who will come and sit? Do you know if they are sanitized, they are clean? Okay, they are using masks and gloves, but do you think they are in a good, you will interfere with them. They will give you money. They will use their card. They will speak to your waiters. They will sit in your tables. They will sit in your chairs. Are you confident about them? Are you sure that, he always think about the other, how he will, about himself, how to make it good for his consumer, but he never thought about him against his consumer. Like they might bring the pandemic to him. How we do that? Easy. We have just the right product for you. You put it there in the entrance. You make sure everyone comes to you and to your restaurant. Make sure that you and your family and your staff are safe. When you go back home, you don't think how many people I got in the restaurant today, and is any one of them is having pandemic when I spoke to him, when I touch his hand, when I took the money from him, anything. You don't need to worry about it as much as if there is no product, not our product in your premises. You just put it there. It can get any people, normal walking people for health, people with a stick, people with a wheelchair, they can all access your restaurant easily. Imagine when you are a restaurant in the mall, sir, you tell you yes, for example. Okay, you are in the food court. There is 2 restaurants next to each other, your restaurant and someone else. Which one you think the client will come in? When see you have this product, ﷺ Gate, or when the restaurant doesn't have? Even the client will feel more safe to come on you. They will be fully sanitized. And they have it's contactless. They don't touch anything. Even the hand sanitizer, it's automated. You don't touch it. And you check their temperature, you make sure they're wearing a mask without offending them. Because to have a security guard standing in front of your restaurant, having the gun out, sorry, I need to check your temperature. No need. by default, he will come and check. You will know they're all safe. Whoever comes to your restaurant, he's safe. And he will go inside. He was wearing a mask and he will go inside. And it will be fully sanitized from under his shoes to his hair. Everything will be sanitized. That will make you more comfortable to come to work every day and go back to your home and your family, right or not? He'll tell you, yes, tell me more about it. Then you go to the features. Now, what I said and whatever I said, actually I said the features, but in a different way. I mentioned the accessibility by saying who can fit in the restaurant, who can go inside. I said that he can place it there in his restaurant without changing everything because it's branded. It will go with the branding, with the decoration of the restaurant, without make it like odd standing there out of nowhere. I mentioned that it has hand sanitizer, automated. I mentioned it has a screen. I mentioned it has, for example, it have all the sanitizer goes all around you because it's for, I didn't go into details. I let him imagine that the clients comes or the consumer comes inside, fully sanitized, feel more comfortable. He don't have to feel bad when he asks them to check their temperature. You know, even us now, we go running to a supermarket and someone stop, I need to check your temperature. Okay, check, you know, and you run. You will know yourself is safe, for example, or healthy. You know yourself, but still, you know, you need to stop and check. There, you just go inside smoothly. There is no queue, nothing, and it's automated. And your consumer will appreciate it, that you think about their safety, while actually you also think about your own safety. Mentioning the family, going back home, mentioning the stuff, you go into the emotional part. Yes, I know I have a kids. I need to make sure that whoever comes to the restaurant, he's you know, sanitized, he's clean. Nevertheless, whatever he touched before he comes to my restaurant. So that's different from selling with features. You have to sell vice versa. Change that feature by studying the market, studying what he, as a restaurant he needs. All the restaurant owners as of now thinking about their how to grab people into the restaurant to trust them, but no one of them or rarely of them think about him and his staff. In DHM, why we said no clients to go inside anymore, only in the meeting room, and it should be appointments, and then because we also think about our staff. And we're planning to fix this machine also in our premises. But same goes for, now if you're selling the same product for a grocery shop, you approach it in the same way, but in different techniques. We are selling this machine with the organic product. It's used for farming. You're selling food stuff. So it's very good for it. We don't use a spray to harm the people when it's coming to you. We use fog, you know, it's very good for them. It goes all over around their body. So you change a bit of words, depends on who you're selling to. A hospital, you know, you spend a lot of money on cleaning the hospital and sanitizing it, yes. What about the people coming from outside? Aren't you guys afraid from? Most of the doctors who got the pandemic are because of the patients. So you trigger his fear by emotions, and then you use that to say the features of the machine by not highlighting it as a feature. Listen, we have 1, 2, 3, we have hand sanitizer, we have a camera, we have this system, we have ramps. You can change it by whatever you think it's a story emotion. And this product is the best in the market by the features you say. Why it's different, why it's, if he asks you to what I'm saying before, you need to know your competitors. Yes, if he told you, okay, why should I buy this? Why there is a cheaper one in the market giving the same results, you know, directly with him, I'm sure it's a spray, it's not fog, you know, I'm sure it's a spray. And imagine you're walking, again, imagine you're walking in the machine, a spray comes to your eyes or your kid's eyes, will you go into that restaurant? You know, family always take it's emotional. So you get afraid. Oh, yes, right, you know. No, but it's fog machine. Great, fog machine. I'm sure they're using chemicals. We are the only one who's using organic products. It's healthy for kids. It's healthy for asthma, people with asthma. It's healthy for people, for pregnant women. You don't mention this completely to the restaurant person. It's not his, you know, you mention it to the hospital people. You mention it to the clinic people. Once they have a kids, if he's a pediatric clinic, you need to mention about the kids and the pregnant woman. So what is the client, what they need, and make it emotional, connect them to their family, let them imagine with you the functions or the dysfunction or the functions of the competitors. They need to imagine the bad effects of it and the good effects of use. Now, once we have this product, for example, when we work in ﷺ, I mentioned before earlier that we need to develop to make sure that it's updated. How to approach the clients? First, we start to approach them with a presentation, and we have two versions of presentation. One long one with a lot of details, a huge one, and one is directly and short. Now, the short one will grab the client attention. Few pages direct to the point why our machine is the best. That's if you cannot call the client, you cannot reach him. You send him this presentation. The client that you can call and tell him, listen, I have this and this and this, and you convince him to send you the presentation, you send him the full one. Because it has all the details. He will sit and read it for sure. He asks you for it. He will read it. And it has more details to convince even. Then, part of convincing client is demonstration. Demonstration is something very good. I saw an advertisement about demonstration. Someone said, how you will sell me this hover machine? Okay, we all maybe have hovers in our home, cleaning hovers, vacuum cleaners. Why I will buy that particular one? When you go to Carrefour to buy vacuum cleaner, you check, okay, good, price is fair, not expensive one. I'll buy expensive one to clean certain stuff, and that's it. Someone was demonstrating the vacuum cleaner live on TV, and he put the vacuum cleaner on top of a bowling ball, and he lifted. Then he moved to the next ball, and he lifted, and it's connected to another two balls. So that vacuum cleaner, with the sacking power, could sack and attach 3 bowling balls. You will love that machine. Immediately said, oh my God, if this machine can do this for bowling balls, what it will do for small food here and there or dust in my house. You will not need to use it for bowling balls. This is the techniques. It's demonstration only. It's convincing. To convince you to buy it, but you will never use it for the reason they ask you to do, to convince you to do it. That's demonstration is a very important part. That's why for the higher grade, we develop from the presentation. For example, the next level will be animation. I'll show you short video animation. Now, which one sells more? The one which is the photo only, or when you have what you call it, the animation? Of course, the animation sells more, right? So we need to develop, update ourselves to make sure that we catch more consumers, right? So we start with the presentation, start with photos, start with videos, then we move to successful stories of customers. Talk about that part. We said one customer can help us to sell more, and that takes us to the next video.
Normal temperature, please wear a mask. Normal temperature, please proceed.
So guys, which one also sells more? The animation one or this one? Demonstration one?
The actual one.
The actual one, plus using a big name. We sell to many clients. I just choose this one to show you this big name can open a lot of doors for us. When you say I sell the machine to Ooredoo, we really faced a lot of difficulties to close this deal because of the risk department, the HSE. We learn a lot from them. we change many things, but when you close a deal with Ooredoo, people want to see it. And this is what we're hearing. I want to go and see it. I want to see it in Ooredoo. I want to see it. That's a big advantage value. It means such a huge corporate organization bought from you, you catch the trust. The client cannot tell you, how can I trust you and trust your company? You sold it to Ooredoo. It's one of the biggest companies in the country. It's a government company. That's the difference. So you need always to be updated. You need to be always when we even sell it to Ooredoo, we mention to them, back to the growth and innovation, that this product will make sure whenever there is a new updates, we will make sure that we inform you about and we re-update it for you. The software is updated, we will re-update it. The something updates in the machine, we will do it. So these things help us a lot, and we need to make sure to catch the client. Why Ooredoo didn't go with with other suppliers? And they had other suppliers. Like any client, everyone's checking different options. Why they came with us? Because we made it for them. What's the good for them? What it will do for them? And they place an order for 9 machines. Thanks God. So we install 4, balance is 5. Inshallah, in the next weeks we will install them. So selling this product, it was something not in our scope. Digital sales team and most of the people knows about it and trying to help in this product, but this is not our scope. Why I'm selling, it's synthesizing gate. I don't know about it, but again, you can sell anything to anyone at any time. Just the demand is there in the market now. You came up with a solution. You make sure it has the features that he's looking for, without mentioning it as a features, and sell it to him. And now, what I do with other clients, I just send the video. That's it. They ask me, what is this? Send me more about it. You go forward. And then you send him the full presentation. That's the strength. Now, if you remember the first cover page, when we're trying selling ice to Eskimo people, first before that, sorry, this is a book I advise most of the guys to read it. It's for Dave Kale. It's very, very good book, and it's teach you how to do a proper sell to anybody. Everyone can do it. That's why I'll get the title from. It's how to sell anything to anyone at any time. Now, remember the first page cover? I was like, the salesperson was offering the ice cube. The last one, he's paying him money. So he closed the deal. I need a suggestion from all of you, how you can sell ice to Eskimo people. What do you think this guy told him? And I don't know what he told him, but I can imagine things that he told him to convince him. What do you think you can say to Eskimo person to sell him an ice? And that's a question to all, if anyone can just answer.
You can melt the ice so you can drink water.
You can melt the normal ice. Why he will melt the cubes ones? There is no wrong and right. Just you need to hear opinions,
You buy this ice cube, you just have to melt it and you have a clean water to drink.
It's one option. It's an option.
I don't know.
So you give him a need. You make him, he has an existing
They like
need,
ice.
and you give it to him.
They like
What
ice.
else?
So we assume that he's in the Arctic, or
They're
he's,
already surrounded by ice.
maybe he's in Doha and we are selling him ice because he missed it so much. It will be easier.
She just like the person. The guy has a nice smile.
Can be. That's an option.
Or maybe the buyer doesn't have fridge.
They don't need the fridge there.
No, so you need the fridge to have ice, right? But because you live in a cold area, you don't need the fridge because everything is cold.
Might be.
But you
Might be an
can't
option.
make an ice without fridge.
Yes, true.
Here,
It can be.
ice.
A salesperson know about the customer, what they need. Especially they are living in Eskimo, so they like ice.
True.
This is
Do you like the
custom-made
heat?
ice cubes. Custom-made ice
That's an
cubes
option.
of, like toy
100%.
decoration.
100%. So what I thought about it, for example, and how he could sell. First, 3 ideas. First one is a pure water, as Faye said. Like, this is a pure water. Maybe there is no springs, This is an avian branded ice cubes. And it's purely for you and your children, to make sure that your children drinks pure water. You put the imagination in his mind that his children drinking this ice cube when it's melted. And you close the deal. Second one is what Dinch said. It's decoration, or I say the color. But I thought about it, it's to have these cubes. The ice cube has a flavor, orange flavor, mango flavor. From where you get orange and mango there? You give them a flavor, so you drink them. What Faye said has no fridge, so you give him, that's an existing need, a demand, and you just sell it to him. But the other two answers is more into creating a demand. He didn't think about he might need ice cubes in the flavor of orange juice. He didn't think about it of, it can be branded. To Dinch said also it can be customized with a certain shapes, with his name on it. And imagine if you go to him and tell him this is an ice cube, or this is ice cube made with your name on it, with the same price. He will be, showing off among his neighbors that he have his own ice cubes, So there is so many ways, and I'm happy that, the ideas came in the same direction in my presentation. You will focus on what he needs or create a need for him. And don't talk about, it's ice, it's, you need to put it this time in the fridge to be made, and it's like this, it's like that. No, why he will use it for. That's the idea. Thank you so much for your time. So thank you guys. Thank you for your time again. If you have any questions about the sales in particular and the sales in general and Wiqaya Gate in person, please approach me, and I'm happy to help any one of you to know more about it. So we help each other as a group, as one team.